Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Morning Blend Extra. Today, of course, it's Friday, June 20th, which also means we are officially in astronomical summer, or at least we will be at 9:42 p.m. this evening. Hey, coming up on today's show, we have ways to beat the heat this summer, hot new fast food items, and of course, the spicy topic of all, estate planning. But first, let's take a look at our hot and humid forecast to come. Right now, we do have rain falling across the region. We'll see rain pretty much right until around noon, 1 o'clock, when the system finally starts to kick out and toward the south and east. And in its wake, we'll likely see a breezy but bright day with sunshine making its return, up to a high of 87 degrees. Overnight tonight, we're not going to see much relief from any sort of heat, down to a low of 76 degrees before Mother Nature turns the thermostat up to 11, getting up to a high of 97 on Saturday, Sunday, and then 98 degrees for our Monday as well. So because of that, and along with the humidity, we have put the first low out there with some heat index values potentially topping 105 degrees. Now heading into Monday night, showers and storms are possible, and we'll see thunderstorm chances pretty much from Tuesday all the way through next weekend. High-wise though, 93 Tuesday, 87 Wednesday, up to a high of 89 degrees for our Thursday. Let's take a look outside. It is our primetime audio video East State Street Cam. Still seeing some light rainfall across the region, and you'll want to enjoy the cool weather while we have it, because there will not be much relief this weekend. Well, it's that time of year when children are outside a lot, and hey, I'm no exception. Whether they're attending sports camps, summer practices, or just playing outdoors, the rising temperatures can put them at risk. In today's Healthy Minute, Mandy Gaither has tips to help parents keep kids safe from heat-related illnesses.
As the temperatures rise, so does the risk of getting really sick from the hot sun.
It's hard for your body to actually sweat out that heat and to get rid of it. So you're at much higher risk of heat-related problems.
Dr. Ashley Brulette with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says this time of year it's especially important to keep kids hydrated before, during, and after activities. She says if they're outside for under an hour, make sure they're drinking plenty of water. But if they're spending more than 60 minutes outdoors, she suggests supplementing with a sports drink.
And then also being mindful of what time of day we're doing activities. So doing things earlier in the morning, later at night, having shady breaks, things like that are going to be really important for monitoring long term.
If your child is an athlete, Brulette says to gradually introduce heat before outdoor practice to allow the body to acclimate to it, and be mindful of equipment and clothing that they're wearing.
Not overdressing, light layers, light colors, things like that will be helpful.
Knowing signs of heat-related illnesses is also important. The most severe sickness from the sun is heat stroke. Symptoms include confusion, irrational behavior, drowsiness, nausea, vomiting, and a high temperature of 104 degrees and above. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
As it heats up this weekend, a fast food chain is also bringing the heat, with Wendy's introducing a collaboration with a spicy snack, Takis, as they introduce Takis Fuego Meal starting today in the USA. This combo features a spicy chicken sandwich topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips, chili lime sauce, creamy corn spread, and cheddar cheese sauce. Also included is a side of fries tossed in a tangy chili lime seasoning, or if you prefer, you can get a bag of Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Additionally, from June 20th to July 20th, fans can turn up the temperature with Wendy's in-app game, Spice Invasion. In the retro arcade-style game, players navigate treacherous terrain, blasting Wendy's menu items with Takis chips to earn points, win prizes, and enter to win a grand prize of $10,000. Now, I'm a big fan of Takis. I always have them in my place, so overall, it's a pretty good snack that I'll likely be trying. Well, coming up, we'll review the importance of estate planning with a local expert. We'll get into that heated discussion coming up next. Well, thanks for sticking with us. We are now joined by Natalie Barber of Tobin, Ramon, and Barber. How you doing this morning?
Doing okay. I've got my estate plan in place.
Ooh.
So I'm just fine. And I've got peace of mind.
Well, aren't you lucky? So what is an estate? Do I have one? I don't know.
You might do. You maybe own these clothes that you're wearing, so you own something.
Oh, yeah, I guess I do own
Right?
stuff.
So if you've got personal property, clothes, jewelry, a vehicle, you at least need a will.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you own your own home or are you renting right now?
I'm renting.
Okay, so you probably don't need a trust yet, or maybe ever. If you're a homeowner, I recommend a trust, because then you can avoid probate, and that's nice for your family.
Okay, but what about all the stuff that I have? I have a lot of expensive gaming stuff. Would that kind of be covered in that estate?
Yes, it would.
Ooh.
And we could itemize those in your will. You know, you could say my Xbox controller to so-and-so, the actual unit to this friend.
No, that's fair.
I probably wouldn't split it up like that. Just like you don't split up table and chairs. Probably the
That is true.
controller and the unit should go to one person.
Yeah, probably it's a package deal.
Yeah.
So what is estate planning? It kind of sounds like you've been talking about it here for a second. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, so it's a way to plan where your stuff goes when you die. So it's a plan for your loved ones. It's kind of like buying life insurance. Like you pay the premium to an attorney like me, and they get the benefits. Right? You never really see a dime of your own life insurance. But then for kids, the will is the place where we name guardians. So if you pass away, unfortunately, and your kids are under 18, you want to know that they're going to be in good hands once you've passed.
Yeah, so you've already kind of mentioned, with kids for stuff, but is there any other reason why you'd want to do an estate plan?
For my high net worth clients, Illinois has a very low exemption amount for when what we call the death tax starts. So there is a very sophisticated trust for a married couple. It's like a his and hers trust. And we can combine their exemptions that they're allowed in Illinois so that they can pass a lot more to their kids tax-free. So there's a tax saving sometimes too.
Oh, that's fair. How often should somebody review their estate plans?
I would say every 5 to 7 years. Every year is probably too much, although I'd love to hear from you. We probably won't have much to talk about if you check in with me. But about that 5-year mark, probably life has happened, or the law has changed, or maybe your preferences have changed, like who your executor is, maybe another kid is born or a grandchild. If it's been 10 years, so if it's been a decade and you haven't had your estate plan reviewed, come see me. It's a free consultation. I'll do a little checkup like somebody would on your car, and I'll give you an honest review and recommendation. Maybe your estate plan's just fine and you just got free peace of mind. Maybe I have a recommendation for documents that I kind of do it like a teacher, like this document's a B+, like it'll get you done just fine, but here's my recommendation for how to make it an A+. And it's up to you how perfect you want your documents to be.
Yeah, you see, that makes a lot of sense. So overall, is there any major life events that you'd recommend? Hey, maybe once you maybe get married or have a kid, is that also a good time to go ahead and change your estate plan?
You've got it. Those are the two main ones. So I would say, so if there's been, sometimes it's not even as a practical matter. Like if you get married, it's like, okay, we have stuff and we have stuff together. Let's make a plan for it. That's logical.
Yeah.
Our kid is born. Okay, let's get a will. So we're planning for this kid's future and maybe guardians if we need it. That's logical, right? But a lot of people come to me because they've had sort of, for lack of a better term, like a come to Jesus moment. Like they've had a death in the family and they had to go through a messy, let's say, probate without a will or a trust. And they are like, ooh, I don't want my kids to have to go through what I just went through for Uncle Marge.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I know, death's definitely a touchy subject. Maybe not as much as marriage or having a kid, but how do you kind of go about guiding somebody through a process that could potentially be uncomfortable?
Yeah, so I try to meet my clients where they're at. So people come in for many reasons, and people come in with very different preconceived notions about what it's like to meet with an attorney. So I just sort of, as we say, read the room. And I just I decide what they need. I use a little bit of, hopefully, the emotional intelligence I have left that hasn't been ruined by me being an attorney for 15 years. And by the time that most clients leave and they've got their signed estate plan in their hands, their portfolio, they typically say, well, that wasn't so bad, or that wasn't so painful, so that's a win to me.
Yeah, that's absolutely a win. Kind of veering off topic a little bit, could maybe donating to a charity once you pass, is that something that you could write into an estate plan as well?
Absolutely. I get that all the time. So locally here in Rockford, the Northern Illinois Community Foundation, that's a big one. Also, I'm from Boone County, and that's where my office is. We've got the Boone County Community Foundation, which we just had our 20th year celebration yesterday at the Poplar Grove Wings and Wheels Museum. Yeah, so those are my two local popular ones I see in estate plans.
Well, that makes sense. So kind of going back on wills, trusts, is there a difference? I don't know. I'm still young. I'll have to think about that. At least I probably shouldn't, but it sounds like I might have to.
Yeah, you own a thing or two.
I guess a couple.
Right? So if I used you as an example, you would probably just need a will. Because if you don't own a home and your estate is under $100,000, right? Unless you've got really expensive video game
Okay, not that
equipment.
expensive.
Okay, I don't know how expensive this suit is, right? If you're under $100,000, we can get away with you having a will and you don't have to go through probate. So I would say a will for you would be a good starter estate plan.
Okay.
And with our wills, we do like a package. It's a will, a power of attorney for healthcare, in case something happens to you, you've got somebody to speak for you, and your power of attorney for finance. If you're in the situation where you need someone to speak for you, but you still need like your rent to be paid, you would need a power of attorney for finance to cut that check.
Oh, that makes sense.
So those three documents will get you done just fine.
And then what is a trust? I know that you said that if I don't have a home, which I don't, still being young, but so what does a trust do then when it comes to the actual like home ownership?
Yeah, so a trust does exactly what a will does. It just has the instructions for where stuff goes when you die. Instead of being 3 to 5 pages, it's 30 to 50 pages sometimes. Yeah. I know. We do all the work up front, but it's what we call self-authenticating. With a will, you got to go through the 6-month probate process. With a trust, all your successor trustee has to show is a death certificate, and it's kind of like a company. They are the shareholder now. They take over.
Oh, well, that does
with no personal liability, though.
Okay, so what happens if I don't have an estate plan, which I don't right now, but I might need to get one.
Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. The laws and the probate law in Illinois has a default estate plan. So, are you married?
I am not.
Okay. Single, guys. Oh, maybe you have a person.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Over
Sorry.
5 years.
Sorry,
so.
honey. All right. You got to put a ring on that. 5 years. Oh, goodness. All right. But come see me first or
Fair
after.
enough.
So with a will, you've got to go through probate. And with a trust, it's just everything's in there, and it's just you get an EIN number for the trust, you have the death certificate, and those are really your 2 documents, and then it's just easy breezy. Now, if you die in Illinois without an estate plan and you're single, not single like on the market, but single like not married, right? The law just distinguishes between the two. Then there's a little chart. It's almost like an outline, and it's called like descent and distribution. And the state of Illinois has a default estate plan for you. So it would really depend on who's left alive in your nuclear family. So if your parents are alive and your siblings are alive, it kind of gets split between and among them.
Okay.
If you're a married couple, it's really interesting. You would think it would be everything to the surviving spouse. It's not. If you have kids, half to the surviving spouse. So I have my husband, Justin, so it would be half to him. And then I've got 3 little kids, 10, 9, and 7, half to them, no matter how old they are, no matter how much I like them.
Hopefully, if they're their kids, hopefully you like them a lot.
Right? I do. So that's the number one reason to at least get a will, even if you don't care about probate, so you can control where your stuff goes when you pass, especially if you've got that traditional family, so that you can say everything to the surviving spouse, and then the kids can inherit the kingdom when we're both dead.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, Natalie, thank you so much for coming on the show. I mean, looks like now I should probably go ahead and get a estate plan myself, even though I don't have a lot. Still probably wouldn't hurt to say, hey, maybe my gaming stuff can go to one of my buddies.
There you go.
They're located at 530 South State Street, number 200, Belvedere, and then their phone number, 815-544-0316, and you can find them on their website, TobinRamon.com, or Ramon or Raymond?
Ramon.
Ramon,
you got
okay.
it.
Hey.
That's my law partner, Lois Ramon.
Well, fantastic. Well, again, thank you so much for coming up on the show. Well, coming up, it's been 50 years since there's been a little blood in the water. Or, okay, who knows? Maybe we need a bigger boat, which you can put on your estate,
And
right?
You need an estate plan before you go on this vacation. What if Jaws is in the water?
That's fair. Hey, we'll take a look at the 50th anniversary of Jaws coming up next.
Spring in the state line means severe weather season is here.
We brace for extreme wind.
But you're safe because you watched First Alert Weather, and you get the first alert with forecast for where you live. WIFR First Alert Weather, putting you first.
At Gray Digital Media, we craft engaging campaigns that grab attention and get results. Extending your message across all platforms. Gray Digital Media. We know local. GDMRockford.com. When you want to know right now, predict, or catch up on the stories you missed, download video of your local news on the WIFR News app. Live breaking news.
We have reports of multiple shots fired.
Real-time forecasts.
We are tracking some rain potential for tomorrow.
Custom alerts for the stories that impact you. It's fast and, best of all, free. The WIFR News app, where the news and video you want are all in one app.
Well, welcome back to the Morning Blend Extra. I can hear the standing bass now. Da-na, da-na. Jaws was released on this very day back in 1975. The classic blockbuster became an iconic part of film history thanks to its famous score and, of course, that famous standing bass. An infamous shark, and in today's Hollywood Minute, Douglas Hyde takes a look at the many ways its 50th anniversary is being celebrated.
You yell shark, we've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
After 50 years, you probably thought it was safe to go back in the water again. Well, Jaws is back and celebrating its golden anniversary. Director Steven Spielberg has recorded a new introduction for the 1975 classic, which is now streaming along with its sequels exclusively on Peacock. A special 50th anniversary edition is also now out on 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and digital.
The Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, the world's largest museum dedicated to movie making, is thrilled to announce Jaws, the exhibition.
LA's Academy Museum of Motion Pictures is launching the largest exhibit ever dedicated to Jaws in September.
There are over 200 objects that will be on view in this exhibition, and we've been working in close partnership, of course, with Steven Spielberg, so we can tell behind-the-scenes stories in a way that the public has never experienced before.
We were on the real ocean, and we were way out of our element for 5 months, and we all began going off the deep end, literally.
Jaws was, as they say in Hollywood, a difficult shoot, especially for Spielberg. Documentary filmmaker Laurent Bouzereau delves into that in Jaws at 50, The Definitive Inside Story, which premieres on Nat Geo, Disney Plus, and Hulu next month.
The toll that it took on him and what it did to him, the good and the bad, was the thing that was really a revelation for me.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Well, at least we won't have to worry about any sharks across the state line, but we definitely will need to be worrying about that summer heat here this weekend. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Morning Blend Extra. That pretty much wraps everything up for this Friday. It's summer. Go outside maybe after the rain stops and just enjoy pleasant conditions this afternoon.